What is going on, everybody? My name is Connor Everything, and welcome back to another Advanced Wars by Web replay commentary. So, for this replay commentary, we have a very interesting matchup, if you can see in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. I actually am going to play a game against Grit, which is very interesting, considering, if we just check this out, Grit is usually considered a tier 0 CO, in that when you're playing a non-fog match, it is so easy as Grit to set up these giant walls, slowly inch them further with mega coverage, and for you to, cry hopelessly as you slam into his wall, only to get completely and utterly shelled by what he's got going on behind it. However, if you turn the fog on, Grit moves down to a tier 1 CO. Now, why is that? Well, that's because Grit needs vision in that case in order for his anti-airs to work. And especially on top of it all, if you're trying to shoot something in the forest, well, if you try to shoot something in the forest, that's even harder because you have to then get vision of the forest, then shoot. It's not enough to just have a recon sitting in your group to get vision, and then you can shoot in the recon's range. You then have to drive to the forest and then shoot. So that's why he drops to tier 1. And the game that I played is a tier 2 game. But wait, tier 1? Tier 2? What's going on? What do you mean? Well, if... allow me to pull this up. This game is played on a map called Seashoals. It's the word Seashoals with a question mark and an exclamation mark. Seashoals, and it's a tier 2 fog match. Now, why would Grit be enabled on this map? Let's think about it. If you really don't know, just think about it for a second. Grit's artillery are amazing. They're spammable. You throw them behind a wall, you hide them in the forest, you're good to go. However, they're still weak units. They have to be protected. Look at the amount of mountains on this map. The only mountains on this map are along the edges. Now, why do mountains matter? Because it's easy to protect your anti-air, putting it next to a mountain and then walling around it. Only infantry can come into that mountain, so if you have them zoned off, that's like a free blocker. It's essentially putting it against the side of the map when you have it next to a mountain. So without any of these mountains, and yes, a lot of forests, but not enough to hide the massive army of Grit artillery in, it's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. Or will it? Or will it? Because Grit's a tier 1 CO usually in the fog for a reason. He has the range on him is insanity, and he can still wall up. If you let him wall up in the fog and just him slowly march at you, that's game over. So when I saw that Grit was enabled, I immediately thought, oh, I'll play Grit. And then I looked at the map and I'm like, okay, I think Grit's going to be a popular choice. If I can pick a movement CO with high attack, maybe my enemy is going to think the same thing I did, and then I can outplay him. At least that's what I thought. So Max, being a CO with max force and maxed blast, for 3 stars I get an extra movement, and my tanks will hit mega hard, I thought, okay, the strategy must be to maintain vision of his artillery, and then come in with a max blast for some big punches, and just punch through his artillery wall kind of in one fell swoop. And that was the strategy. And not giving away who won or lose, let's just check out if my strategy worked. But before that, of course, we got to go to our CO intros. So, for the first time ever on the channel, we have a Grit. Grit's day-to-day is his indirects have +1 range. So if you're new to the game and you don't understand what the hell I was just talking about, that's what I'm talking about. His indirects have an additional range. And when I first discovered competitive Advanced Wars, I was watching a video on somebody doing a CO tier list, and throughout growing up playing this game, I had never, ever, ever thought that the COs could be unbalanced. I'd always thought that for some reason, I always thought, oh, well, these are all obviously perfectly balanced. Oh, like, and then my sister would pick Jess, and then I would pick Hachi, and I'd win, and I go, I got you, and she's like, yeah, I guess you got me. Little did I know that I was picking a ridiculously broken CO to play. And I was also a big fan of Grit. I wonder why. He is crazy good. Not only do they gain +1 range, but they have +20 attack. Seriously, who needs tanks if you can hide if you can hide an artillery wall in bushes in the fog, have a recon out front that is covered by the artillery, and another recon to back it up if it gets shot down, only for your opponent to kill the recon and then get absolutely shelled by non-stop 600 cost artillery. That's it. A 600 cost Grit artillery will decimate a medium tank. That costs 16,000. So that trait alone right there, which is such an important part of the game, is why Grit can just shine. And then his CO power and Super CO power are used interchangeably when needed. However, his snipe attack is popped more often, and you'll see why in a second. Because his snipe attack, indirect units gain an additional range, and their attack is increased to 40%. With Super Snipe, indirects gain 2 range, and their attack is increased to 40%. So, obviously, if you just want the damage boost for 3 stars, that is a pretty dirt cheap power that will give you even an additional range. And why would you pop Super Snipe if everything's in range anyway? It only gives you an additional 40 power. So you're better off almost always popping Snipe Attack. But like I said, you have a ton of units in Super Snipe range, yeah, absolutely go for it. That could be pretty devastating if that's the case. So that's Grit. I don't know how often I'll be able to introduce him on the channel anymore. He's not played very often on maps that he's enabled in because of situations like this. He's only enabled in tough maps. Well, let's move on to our boy, the power lifter from Orange Star. We got Max. His direct units all direct units run around with an additional 20% attack. Indirects lose -10 attack and have -1 range. We've covered him before. Running around with +20% attack, plus I'll grab a con tower. We're talking +30% attack to tanks. Those tanks one-shot recons on roads. They one-shot recons on roads. And with how important vision is to Grit, I thought that would be a perfect counter to shut down his vision. And if you shut down his vision, you 100% shut down all the sniping he wants to do to you. Period. That's how it works. His CO power, Max Force, his direct units gain +1 movement, so I can surprise him out of the fog, and their attack increases to 30%. In other words, they gain an additional 10% attack. That's it. So they gain an additional 10% attack. Max Blast. Units gain +2 movement, and their attack increases to 50%, aka they gain 30% attack on Max Blast. So, both Max Force and Max Blast can be used very interchangeably. If I had to pick a better thing on Max, I'd have to say save up for your Max Blast. The +2 move, unless you don't need the +2 movement, but the +30% attack can one-shot a lot of things, particularly Grit artillery on cities. I believe that they can. So if I had to pick one that's better, it would definitely be Max Blast. Just to save up for it, you get more bang for your buck for those additional 3 stars. But like I said, everything's situational. I popped Lady Luck on Rachel last game and did very well. So everything's situational. All right, without a further ado, let's hop into the game. You know, you might be thinking, man, you look kind of weird. Is it the lighting? Or yeah, it is kind of lighting. I'm also not wearing a hat. I've worn a hat in every one of my videos before, but I just came home from work, and I just really wanted to cast this. So I just hopped in my chair, got everything ready, and now here I am recording it in my work clothes. What do you guys think? I cleaned up pretty well, huh? Okay, that's great. So let's okay, this is a note to me. Edit that out later, all right? Do not forget to edit that out. All right, and we're back, and without further ado, let's just get into the game. All right, here we go. So my opponent will start out. Grit will start out, and he opens up with 2 infantry. So let's break down my infantry movement early in this game, because I think that my infantry movement early was very good, and I want you guys to tell me what you think of my infantry movement early. And if you're having trouble climbing, especially in low elo, but even in high elo, one of my biggest recommendations that I've been having so much success with lately is meticulously break down your infantry movement early. There's no threats, there's no pressure, you don't have to worry about, don't even worry about a recon coming out of the blue, because that'll happen. But you should be worried about getting the best bang for your buck out of your early infantry movement. So then, of course, I go 2 infantry. Yep, I agree. And then he'll go 2 infantry. You always want to get the properties that you can, and then pick and choose. So here I decide to move back immediately to get this to boost my income the most right away. Go 2 more infantry, and we will push on. Grit will not forego this, but instead of coming around to capture this right away and pushing out here. Yeah, see, and this is a mistake. His infantry pushes out here. What is this going to capture next turn? This isn't going to capture anything next turn. Push this here so this can capture this next turn, and then swing this around here. Because look, instead he opts to swing this like this. That's kind of a no-brainer. An airport gives you income, so swing around and get the airport, and look, this isn't going to capture anything next turn. So. And then look at this. This is an early recon. Now, if he was playing against Sammy, this would be game over. Because think about it. What's this recon going to do? It's going to interrupt an infantry on a city. That infantry is just going to capture it next turn because I'm playing Sammy and I'm going to get the building. Now, that's not the case. He can get an interrupt, but the chances are he's going to only do 6 or 5. In fact, I think that's all he can do as Grit is 6 or 5. In that case, he's only delayed me by a turn, and if I play my cards right and back it up with the right units, I'll have a unit to take care of it, very, very soon. So, or worst case scenario, I pull the infantry back and just wait a little bit longer. It's not that bad. So then I push out all my troops, and then I'm thinking, okay, so I could move this troop over here to get this, but why don't I just push it further into the map? If you can get maximum movement out of your infantry to push and capture the farthest properties possible, and you're not foregoing any caps in the process, I think that is optimal infantry movement. So yeah, despite him going a vehicle, I'm still pumping out infantry. Now, why am I doing that? Well, I kind of realized from the beginning, this is a 2-factory map and an airport. Grit, like most Grit players, are obviously just going to spam artillery. I am not going to have any time to buy infantry on my turn with only 2 factories. It's all about recons, tanks, battlecopters this game. Recon, tanks, battlecopters. Am I forgetting anything? Yes, I'm forgetting anti-airs. Well, the thing is, Max has anti-air in the form of his tank. The form of his battlecopters. Max with plus 20% attack, plus a comm tower, plus 30%. That's a plus 30% battlecopter. What's that battlecopter going to do? It's going to hit Grit battlecopters down to 1% or 2% every single time. That is just as good as a 800 gold anti-air. So if you pump out an anti-air, that anti-air can hit infantry and it can one-shot battlecopters. A max battlecopter can sometimes one-shot infantry, decimate artillery, and almost one-shot enemy battlecopters. So, really, all you're going to need is recon, tank, battlecopter. And let's think about what that costs. That costs 2,000 per turn. So if I can get my income up to 2,000 per turn minus repair costs, so let's call it 20,000 per turn. So let's say 21,000 per turn because repair costs and whatever. I can do exactly that every turn, and that is going to be the key to overwhelming, or that was the strategy that I took to overwhelming Grit. Okay, he moves his infantry out. Now this looks pretty good, like I said. You want to move it as far as you can? No, no, no. No, what is this? This is a river, man. And if you highlighted that, you would know that you could push to this next turn. This isn't going to capture anything next turn. Look, you would have had this plus this next turn. Now, what is this going to do? It's not going to do anything. So, he runs out a really early recon. I do not know what he hopes to do with that. And then he goes to infantry because he has to. He doesn't really have to. He could have built infantry artillery, but the early capture game is crazy important in this game. Especially with 2 factories. Especially. So here we go. Now I'm getting my capture chains going, and now I'm on to my airport. And if you're thinking about optimally, yes, I could have pulled an infantry here and an infantry here. I would have had an extra 2 turns of income because of it. But I wanted to push out my infantry as far as they could right away. So I'll just keep 1 infantry here, slowly capture these 2, and by the time these 2 are captured, that 1 infantry that I forewent coming here will be way farther out here than it would have been if I just kept it. So that was my reasoning for that, and he kind of had the same reasoning. So now, yeah, I mean, just really bad infantry movement. He was playing quick. We played a lot of this game live, so he was playing very quick. And then look, I mean, this infantry is like, bruh, I was just where you were. Why did you take so long? And now, again, he's foregoing a turn of building infantry to just pump out an early artillery. He is grit. That's what he's supposed to do. I don't know how many times this video I've said grim, by the way. I'm sure a lot of you are absolutely pulling your hair out. I'm sorry for that. But I'm going to try to say grit from now on. Maybe I never said grim, but I've caught myself a couple times almost saying grim. And then this, look, right? Old me probably just would have thrown it down on this property and called it a day. But why not take your maximum movement and get the further away property? Right? Why not? I think that's smart. Okay, pushing on my infantry, just pretty standard. And then, so I know I was harping on him going recon, artillery, because you need to get infantry out right away. And if you think about it, we're now even. We both have 2 vehicles and the rest infantry. So we're even on infantry. The only difference is, you know, yes, he's here, yes, I'm here, but I've already got this captured on my side. And I'm pushing with another infantry simultaneously next turn. So, what am I trying to say? I'm just farther out than him because I built all my infantry early and forewent building vehicles as early as he did. So, now he rolls out, gets pretty big vision. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of road. There's a lot of prairie here, so you want to kind of map out your recon movement, or, I mean, another way of putting it is recon movement is it's just pretty tough on this map. Straight up, it's just pretty tough. So then we are gonna push out this infantry. Yep, artillery. Go, go, go. And then another artillery. I mean, he is grit. This is kind of what you're supposed to do, but his capture game is just off. It's just off. It just is. If these infantry get interrupted, what are you going to do? You have nothing to replace them with. You're not building enough. And when you don't have enough infantry to replace them, properties are just going to sit uncapped, or I'm going to start capturing your properties. And when I do, even if you fight me out of the area, you're not going to have time to capture because you haven't built enough infantry. Now, he did build another infantry here, and I'm going to, 2 vehicles at a time. So this is something that I'd never do. I build an APC, and then look, I load an infantry into a spent APC. Now, why did I do that? Because that's the infantry's max move anyway, and this is already spent as well. So if I have a spent APC and a max move infantry, I'm gonna do that on the next turn anyway and then roll it out. So I might as well. It really is just I might as well. And then I go another tank. I know that the key to beating grit is you have to be hyper aggressive. If you let him set up, you're gonna have a bad time. There's no doubt about that. So then look, I mean, it's kind of goofy infantry movement. He has to pull this back now instead of pushing it forward. And now look, he's only got 2 of these over here. I have 3. He's only got 2, and they're not even done capturing. So I am ahead of him in the cap game. However, he's got some serious interrupt power right here. And he's pushing out his artillery. Goes another artillery and another recon. Okay, yeah, he needs vision. He needs to be building lots of recon this game, because if his recon go down and he doesn't have replacements, he will have no vision. So then I start capping this, go, oh wow, he's in the forest, okay. And when I saw this pushed all the way up, I was like, huh, he has got to be foregoing something. I don't know what, But to have a recon this early, he is foregoing something big. Okay, I roll my tank out as far as it can go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So both of these are the same distance away from this recon, and lucky for me, it's in range. It's in range of the recon. So, okay, I'm rolling out, and then yeah, there goes my APC. And yeah, when I saw this, I was really glad I built the APC, because now I'm thinking, you build something like this early, you have foregone an infantry. With an APC, I can get a serious advantage in the cap game over you. Okay, and then more tanks and infantry coming out. Oh, what's that I hear? I hear a theme that we may never hear again on the channel. It's Grits theme. Here we go. I love the Advanced Wars Reboot Camp Grits theme. I think they did a really good job on it, but I couldn't find a looping version to sound good for the video, so this is what we got. Okay, here we go. You know what? I bet I could change this background color. Hold on, visual settings. Visual settings. Matte background color. Can I change it to white? Oh, that's actually pretty good. You got. I think blue is the classic though. So why don't we just go back to? Oh God, what have I done? What have I done? All right. I like that. Come on, let's be unique. I actually like that. And I'm just wondering. I don't want my face to be blue. It's so blue. You like that? Oh, my face is so blue. Fuck it. Let's keep going. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks. All right. That's a really obscure reference. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, and then, look, I mean, he takes a shot with this. Let's think about what he's done. He's put his recon really deep in my territory in a position where I most likely have a tank, and I do, a max tank that can easily hit this for 9 damage next turn. And he's interrupted me for 1 turn. He has spent 4,000 gold and foregone an infantry to interrupt 1 turn of income for me. He has lost 3,000 income and valuable vision and potential infantry pushing out into his thing. He has lost a lot with this move, but he's got a big. This is not 1, 2. Wait, is this right? This is not correct. Advanced Wars Pyrev replay viewer 1, 2. Yeah, no, this is not. It should be right here. So this is unreliable. It's too bad that this is incorrect because I wanted to use it a couple times, but that's incorrect. Anyway, okay, he pushes out. Here come his units. He's got good. You know, you needed to make another recon, and I'm sure he's glad he did because here I come. That's a max tank, baby. Now he's got nothing over here. Just gonna sit on this. 1 more turn and I capture it. Okay. So what? You've done nothing. And then I just get vision. A little risky with this. Little risky. You know, he could have. I really wasn't expecting him to have artillery in this area yet, and I was right. He didn't. But could he have? Yeah, kind of. He built it over here to start and pushed it up. Yeah, I probably could have. But I was confident that this was one of his only visions, and I was right because that's kind of like when you see a newbie play like this, you can kind of start predicting how your enemy is going to play. Okay, and look, I'm poised to capture these 3 properties next turn. Where is he? Nowhere. Nowhere near. And look at this. This is the advantage that I'm talking about. Now he has no vision for this. This has 1 vision, by the way. This is all he sees. And a recon all the way over here. I'm free. This is all me. All me. And he can do nothing about it. That's kind of the downside. Okay, and then I go my first max battlecopter. I get it rolling. Look, he built another artillery. He's got 4 artillery on the field. Look at his vision. Look at this. Nothing. He has nothing. He'll have it soon because of this recon. Very soon, actually. He'll push up really quick. And now look, these are 2 great places for this to sit. With a recon here and like a recon here and a recon here, he can just start loading up artilleries behind it and do some serious damage. So we're gonna push out. And yeah, he goes T-copter and no infantry, but that's fine because then he can move his T-copter to a place where an infantry can load in, and then he goes 2 more artillery. He is already stacking up his artillery wall, and now look. I see his infantry here. I know that he forewent an infantry, so he's already behind because of this recon. I'm taking a play out of Mang's playbook and going for the Scorched Earth strategy is what he calls it. I am crippling his capture game. I have taken, because of this, we'll count this recon as 1, 3 infantry out of the game. He's done no such thing to me. I have a 3 infantry advantage on him, and I'm already capping property. Like, look, I'm already capping this, and yeah, he already has this, but, you know, I'm capping this and he hasn't even capped this yet. I have these line of contested properties. He is not even close. He's not even close. He's not up here. He's on this one, but look, I have plenty of units in the area to interrupt that. Okay, and let me just push out. Okay, and then I go another B-copter. Max B-copters are deadly. I already have 3 tanks on the map. So I think he's maybe not going to make some anti-air if he's seeing this. And then I roll battle copters and slam him. So here he goes. Now look, look at how good these are. Okay, this is actually proper. This is proper range. So look, my recon's in range. My tank is in range. So Scorched Earth strategy to block the infantry, okay. But I just lost a lot of vision. That's a one-shot, guys. A one-shot on a recon on planes. Really sucks. That was a lot of vision. I remember being very frustrated that I lost that. But look, I'm producing extra recon. As much as he needs vision, I need vision. Because this is why grid is allowed on this map. There is not a lot of places for his artillery to hide. And I knew that. So if I'm pumping out vision and I can constantly see his artillery, I can keep out of range of his artillery and still get vision, then I can possibly max blast and punch through with tanks and battlecopters. So that's why producing maybe more recons than I need is necessary this game. Okay, and then he gets an interrupt there. I mean, yeah, whatever. And then, yeah, his capture game's coming back. But I already have a 2,000 advantage, and it's going to be a 4,000 advantage at the end of this turn, subject to go back to a 2,000 because he'll probably get these, but we'll see. Okay, and then, yeah, just look, pushing his lineup, and then he goes a battlecopter of his own. Not a bad idea. This is still a direct combat unit, minus 20% attack. So not the worst thing, but like if you're just going to go all-out grit like this, at this point, I would have just built another artillery. I would just build another artillery. I mean, this isn't going to do a lot. It's not going to hit max battlecopters very hard. And if he does, I'm just going to hit back way harder because I'm max. So, you know, I don't know. If you're already knee-deep in artillery, it's either going to work or it's not. So I just keep going for it. So now, this artillery shot on this recon, and I had vision of this area. I knew this artillery was in here. And I also knew that this artillery was in here because it shot at this up here. So I go ahead and get, but then I also saw this recon sitting on a shoal, and look, I've hit him pretty hard, and I'm out of range of these, but a little did I know he actually had another one in here. I was not expecting that. Okay, I get vision, cripple his capture game. Very good, very good. And then look, I got 2 more things. Cripple his capture game. Now what has he got over here? Nothing. He's got 2 infantry over here. I have 3. One of them has 8 health, but I still have 3. Okay, and then, oh, I have 3, sorry. I have 4 in this area now. The infantry importance has won me a lot of games. And again, I'm not going to say how this game ended up going, but you can't fault me on my start. I think my start is very good. Yes, I'm spread out, but the income advantage and my control over my income is pretty good. So yeah, little did I know he had this. Ooh, that had to have been, I did not know he did that. That had to have been him playing very slow or very quick and just not thinking, because that was an obvious mistake. This will one-shot, I believe. And he surely had vision of it, so big mistake there. He's leaving some tanks healthy. Wow, that was actually a fucking huge mistake. And not huge because, oh, you're so stupid. Huge because it's impactful. So he's got this recon. Like, look at this. What are you doing, my guy? You have opted to just interrupt my infantry. You need this. What are these going to shoot at if you have no vision? They're going to shoot at air. They're going to shoot and miss. Battleship, B-18, miss. You need this. You are absolutely tossing this. You know I have 2 tanks here, and I'll still one-shot. Throwing it away, man. Just not smart at all. Okay. So, and he goes, another battlecopter. Dude, if you're going to do this, do it. Or, I mean, grit tanks are still necessary. In a weird way of thinking about it, I've always found them. Whenever I play grit and win, I won because I had good tank presence and good tank movement. You need tanks to hide your artillery behind it. Yes, you can hide artillery behind battlecopters, but they get one shot by recons. They don't get one shot by tanks. They get one shot by max tanks with a power, but that only comes around every once in a while. So tanks are still a necessity. That being said, this still is not the worst strategy, because just you cannot deal with a swarm of anti-air like this. Okay, and then look. Yeah, so something that the comments reminded me of, that I've known, but the comments had to remind me of it, is battlecopters actually do less damage. Recon have weird armor against battlecopters, but I'm able to actually clean it up with a battlecopter and a recon, so I have full range of these tanks to do whatever I want. Will I end up pulling them back? I think I do, because look, I have no vision. No, I want to clean that up, but realize that there's another one, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna really cripple him, and then I'm like, holy moly, how many of these did you make? And that's also when I realized this has got to be one of his last infantry over here, and would you look at that, it totally is. This property's mine. There's nothing he can do about it. He can defend these with artillery, but then he's foregoing defending these with artillery. These are still up for grabs. Those are going to be mine too. So, I think this was still kind of well played by me. I'm going to get shellacked, obviously, next turn, but still well played. Take a shot on the property. Take a shot on his property because I know I can clean up, and I think I get a bad luck roll on that. I know Max's infantry don't do extra damage, but I still think that could have killed. And then I start capping these. I'll cap them in a couple turns, you know, so what? Okay, pull this back, put it in a place to pick up this infantry, and I do build an anti-air. I know I talked about not doing that, but I think that allowed me to just go anti-air tank versus, you know, yeah, but so if I went anti-air tank, I definitely had enough for, because I didn't have enough for battlecopter, tank, recon, and I thought I had enough infantry on the board, and then I was like, you know what, I'm still gonna go for the one shot on the battlecopters, and it's gonna one shot infantry now. So I know I was talking about how you don't need it. You don't, but still a decent buy. And then look, another recon. I have 1, 2, 3 recons on the board. So, and I need more. I need more recons on the board, period. I need to get vision of his anti-air. I'm going to be in a world of hurt. Okay, good shot with that. And then look, see what I mean about vision? He doesn't have vision of this. Now, he should know that there's a tank here, and he should attempt to get vision somehow. Maybe bring this around and shoot. That's definitely what I would have done. And then he can take a shot with this. But instead, all he can do is take a shot with this. He has no vision. He threw away his recon. If you're going to play grid on this map, you need good, smart vision. You need to keep your vision alive. And then, yeah, he takes that out. Yeah, so he takes that out. Disappointing, but what can I do? He's grit. He's got his stuff in position. He's done a good job of that. Gets vision anyway and gets a shot with a 6 and a 3, but he could have gotten a shot with a full. Could have gotten a shot with a full, and then this could have shot on this, which was full health. So at the end of the day, that was still optimal artillery barraging at the end of the day. And look, I mean, seriously, what are you gonna do? What am I gonna do to break through this right now? I have a level 3 tank, a battlecopter, a recon. What is stopping him from slowly inching these up inch by inch and keeping vision with his battlecopters? Nothing. This is why grit is nuts. Now, the solution is battlecopters. They cannot strike battlecopters, but all it's going to take is one anti-air, and that battlecopter is probably not done because it has minus 20% attack, but it's crippled. It's useless. And then he loads this. So this is what I'm talking about. Move this infantry here. Then move your T-copter in a place like right here. So move 1, 2, 3, and then move your T-copter here. So next turn you can go 1, 2, 3, and then you get a big boost to wherever you want to go. Loading into a spent unit like this after your T-copter movement is okay. So he's just going for the boost at the end of the day, which I guess isn't the worst. But then he doesn't build an infantry here to take advantage of a movement boosted infantry. So, and then look, he factory skips. I mean, and goes another grit freaking copter. So now I'm like, okay, well, I'll just take this, and then in 3, and this, it's nice that this is at 7, because a 7 health infantry can take a property in 3 turns, but a 6 health infantry will take 4 health. Sorry, 4 turns. So big difference between 7 health and 6 health. I'm lucky this is at 7 health. That's a 3-turn capture versus a 4-turn capture. And look, big time threatening this. I got lots of vision. Where are you? No way your artillery are up here. I know that because I'm getting shelled down here. So they have to be around here. I'm 1 turn away from this. I'm 1 turn away from capturing that. I push this out because I see a battlecopter down here. But look, max. And that was actually a low roll. I believe most of the time this should go down to 1 with the comm tower. So this was a low roll, and now this is done. What is this going to do? Nothing. It's not going to do anything. I can shoot that down with a. I can shoot it down with a infantry. So this is done. This is not going to do anything. And I've taken out his only anti-air threat. He hasn't built one. And you know, rushing this in to shoot on this battlecopter, you might be thinking, dude, he definitely has an anti-air back here. And I'm kind of thinking, he actually probably doesn't. The amount of artillery that I've seen, just it made me believe that he did not build an anti-air. And I was right. I mean, I played it right. Was it the right decision? At the end of the day, I played it right, so I think it was the right decision. I get vision of this. He's got nothing. This is mine. This is my next turn. He can go for a copter interrupt, but that's it. Okay, pull back. I can go, and then look, and I can roll out my tanks, and copter, and then copter, tank, recon. Boom. This is the trifecta. Keep them rolling, stack them up, and max blast through that artillery line. That's the strategy. And then I get coverage of this forest now. So I move this back because he could easily come off this and cripple this, and I wanted this alive. So instead I want to hide this and put pressure on the infantry that way. He starts capping this, and I mean, that's just futile. Look, shoots back and does 1 damage. Yeah, good for you. Comes out with this. And now he can shoot on this next turn if he doesn't get an interrupt. He was 100% better off flying this down here. Now, you know what? I guess he wasn't, because he could have easily gotten trapped. But could have flown this down here, gotten an interrupt, drove in this. When I tried to capture next turn and shoot it, he would have maintained his property. But what do you know? He doesn't have vision, so he's too scared to do that. Why doesn't he have vision? Because he played that incorrectly. He needed to take better care of his recon. More importantly, my god, dude, you have enough artillery. Build a recon. No more battlecopters. You got 2 on the field. I usually tell my opponents about the games that they've played in, and that I've uploaded a video on them. And sometimes I just say, hey, I uploaded a video on you, on our game, here's the link. And they say, thank you, it's nice that you uploaded a video of you losing. That's what they normally say. But in videos that I win, I say, hey, I'm really harsh on you, I'm just sorry to say that. But if you want to watch it, here's the link. So that's just kind of how I handle it. Yep, drives his artillery up. I'm going to capture this next turn, but I'm pretty sure this is actually bugged, unfortunately. Oh no, he takes a shot. So, not bugged. I get spied. And, okay, I begin my capture. And look, I captured this, I captured this. Big income difference. I mean, really big. And then I was thinking about this income difference. I counted the properties he had, and I probably thought, okay, this is going to be the property layout for a while. There's not going to be a lot more back and forth for a long time, so this is going to be the income. He has, he can still produce 2 artillery per turn. And his artillery are as good as my medium tank. My medium tank may one-shot an artillery, but it's just going to be shot at by another artillery and do almost just as much damage the next turn. So him producing 2 artillery per turn is absolutely nuts, and he doesn't need a lot of income to do it. Moreover, recons are cheap. It's not like vision costs 10,000 for recon like vision, 4,000 for recon vision. So he just needs to pull back, set up his wall, buy a recon for Pete's sake, and do his thing. Let's talk about the missiles buy. Obviously, this was foolish. Look at the movement. It can move into this forest. If you want something to take care of my battlecopter, build. I know you're grit, dude. Build a anti-air. Do not build a missiles. It's gonna move here, and then it can move on planes. Wheels take 2 move. A missile has 4 move. It can move 1, 2 out of this. 1, 2, just like that. Or on cities, it's 1 move. So 1, 2, 3, and that's it. 1, 2, 3, because you can't go 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. So after this, you go 1, 2, or 1, 2. That's it. That's all you can do. So yes, I was playing against kind of a new player that probably hasn't seen a lot of this game yet. And I'll tell you why I popped this. I move this down to get vision. I see this just out of range of my tank, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going for a max force. And I mean, I did watch this replay before I did this commentary, and I just clicked through it at work because I beat him at my work, and I just was like, wow, this was kind of weird. And I was like, this is a weird play, man. Yeah, that doesn't get the one shot, so he has vision of it now. But you know what? I did it because I figured, you know, he wouldn't have vision. That was my main focus. I'm like, you know what? He's not going to have vision of this. I capture with the 7 instead of the full to interrupt his income here. I thought that was an okay move. Then I can come all the way in, smack him with this. I get the movement into the forest. Great vision here. He's going to have to do a lot to dislodge this. And by a lot, I mean walk an infantry up to it and shoot on it with an artillery. That's what I mean by a lot. But so I guess not that much. Pull this back to see where his battlecopters are going to go. And then look. So another reason I popped Maxed Blast was the movement. Like I said, this is a game of shuffling these troops out as fast as I can and hitting him as fast as I can. So that's what I'm doing. I'm shuffling my troops out as fast as I can, and that Max Blast is giving me an extra boost. So now I go double tank because I'm like, it's go time in terms of blasting through his wall. So I mean, I had really no idea just how many... I really had no idea just how many artillery he had here, and you know he makes a noob mistake. That's okay, you know. He should have popped snipe attack before he decided to do this play. He probably would have one shot it, so I'm sure he was a little upset about that. But look, damn, that's nuts. I mean, that's nuts. I left that out to dry, but I killed it. I killed an infantry, crippling his capture game because of it. Look, only two movement. Yep. So yep, that's all you can do. And then pushes out, and then yeah, gets a good clean shot with a battlecopter. But look, I got this in store, and he's got nothing for it. But you know he can't shoot with these, so not the best super snipe. I mean, really not. Okay, and then he goes another artillery. Yeah, and dude, recon, you have no vision. Absolutely no vision. What do I have here? You tell me. You have no idea what I have here because you have no vision. So, pushes up. Good spots for this to sit. Very good spots for this to sit. And then can clean up my infantry there. So, actually, pretty successful turn. Let's review. So, he did go first in the game. So, he does have a minor advantage in that respect. I'm still up 4 units, and the unit value is not that different. Still have a big income lead, very big, and a battalion of troops joining the fray very soon. So here we go. We push in. I pull back, and we go here, and we stop this. We stop this in order to play. I mean, come on, let's play. Let's play some Lash. Why not? Okay, here we go. So, okay, so then I just kind of, and now I inch forward. I realize he's got kind of his grit wall going. So my job is to inch forward, get vision, and wait for the time to strike. Look, double tank battlecopter. I mean, double max tank plus battlecopter. I gotta get my troops in the way. He doesn't have a wall. He just has a lot of anti-air. So if I can get a clean shot at each anti-air, they're all going to be crippled when his turn comes around. So he needs a wall to defend that, and that wall usually involves infantry, which he has none. Okay, and then yeah, it gets a I mean, and there goes my vision. Damn, that sucks. But I mean, look, 3 recon in the area. That's why it's important to do that. So maybe foolish of me to drive that recon in there, but good for him for getting vision of it, I suppose. Okay, rolls out his troops. I was 1 turn away from capturing this. I was so freaking pissed because look what he had to do to get vision of this. Why would he fly this over here? And the answer is to get vision. To get vision for a shot from this. So he accomplished his goal and took out my troop. Well done. But look, I'm 1 turn away from this. I'm gonna get it. My income's gonna go up even more. Okay. And then look, he's got this nice. I did see him drive something into here. I figured it was an artillery. And then finally goes another recon. Good for him. This could start getting really bad for me if I don't keep the pressure on. Remember, the trick to fighting against this grit player is to keep the pressure on. And look, Max Battlecopter, baby. Who needs anti-airs when Max Battlecopters are doing shit like that? Really good. Okay. Push in. Push in. And then I know he's on this mountain. I want to get vision so I can cripple his capture game, and next turn I can come and snag this. Yeah, I'm tying up a Battlecopter to do it, but I'm taking away more income. I mean, that's pretty damn good. Okay, here I come in. And look at these. I have all of these, and which meaning he should have this, and so these three. He has none of these. These two are the contested properties. He should have had these if he was playing like me. But look, I even have this and this. That's all reflected right here. I am up 7,000 a turn. I'm building an extra tank a turn. That is not sustainable so long as I don't play like a dumbass and drive all of my troops into his artillery line. So I'm like, okay, a little light on infantry. I'd like to see if I can snag these and maybe win by cap. I mean, that's not off the table at this point. Winning by cap is not off the table. So pull back my APC to get infantry going. Another thing that I've been doing a lot lately is building an early APC. You are foregoing something very important, and I don't think a lot of high-level players do this, so I don't know if it's really the best move, but I've been building a lot of early T-copters and APCs to pretty good effect. I mean, this income advantage is the real deal, and it's because I pushed him so hard. I just pushed into him so hard at the beginning, because that's what you have to do against grit. So now look, I am building up a little line here. Look, I got some nice shots I can take with this little semicircle of troops here that are all I've made sure to keep out of range of his artillery. And I actually knew this was on purpose. I'm like, you know what? After this, I'm like, I have to be more careful with my recons. I drove this in here knowing he had, because I have vision of all this, knowing the only thing that could shoot on me would be this or this, because he wouldn't get power. Or sorry, would be this, because this is out of range. And so I was like, okay, I am perfectly comfortable leaving this here because that's the only thing he could do to me that turn, and it's not going to one-shot me. And I was right. I maintained vision. So that was a very good play by me. And then look, this was a big mistake. He starts pushing up his artillery wall bigly. And then look, gets vision and how annoying is this to play against, guys? Really, this was crazy, but I wasn't sweating it because I knew he pushed up his wall pretty far. I have lots of troops in the area, and a little something to boost the range of it. So I take that out. Oh, I get vision of this bush. I should have gone and captured this. You know what? I was scared I was gonna get shot at, I think. So I just get vision of this bush, and here we go. Another max force. Here it comes. And I actually planted this, so I wanted to get vision of this forest. Now look at all this vision. Here we go. So now, and I actually get a spot at the missiles. 12k down the drain, man. Completely down the drain. And that's usually the story of any missiles ever. Unless you're Mangs or flexing on somebody. That's the story of every missiles ever. So here we go. Absolutely cripple that. Cripple this. Cripple this. Cripple this. All the way from downtown to cripple this. Finish off this. Then look at this. My little the little recon that comes in and finishes that off. So let's just review what it looked like before. I drive my recon in to get full vision. I pulled this out of the playbook of the guy that played that Jess versus Jake game against me. I am building a lot more recons because of this game to very good effect. Recons are just so much more important to me now than they've ever been, and I've been just finding so much more use out of them because of that one Jake Jess game that we played. And I messaged him that I made a video on him, and he never messaged me back. How weird, right? It's like, dude, don't you... I'm like giving you a big compliment, never messaged me back. Whatever. And now look, I mean, this looks pretty good. 24 to 20. 120,000 to 99,000, but that doesn't really matter when you have this big wall. But here's why grit is so bad. So the player did make some mistakes. He doesn't have a wall protecting this, but without mountains to put your artillery against, units to hide it in, or enough forest to hide in, I have vision on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artillery units that have no units blocking them in, or blocking them at all. So, here I go. 1 unit crippled. Down. Crippled. 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 This one is just dead, dead. Dead, dead. And dead, dead. 24 to 16, and I have double his unit count. I have not bought yet. Or double his unit value. I have not bought yet. Push it in. Push it in. I mean, he's still got plenty of artillery and bush that are still going to hit me really, really hard. So, and then I push out with the extra movement. And then look, so at this point I was like, you know what? I crippled him. He's going to be repairing, but I'm still doing the math on his income, and look, he can still afford to repair a lot of units and still pump out artillery that are going to do the same thing to my tanks. So, you know, it's tough. You know, it's tough. So, here he comes. Takes a good shot. I mean, no, he does not take a good shot. This was really noobie, dude. I mean, I watched the replay and was very surprised that he did this, so I definitely got lucky. This could easily one-shot on shoals like this. Like, what are you doing? Also, cripple my... Either choose to... Like, you could... Just really, really not smart play, and then... Oh, I see, yeah. So, good shot there. And then, yep, good shot there. You know, why not? And then... I guess that was his game plan, but... A game plan that I disagree with. I think that was bad. Can take this out. Gets a big interrupt here, and I'm like, I'm not going to get this anymore because he has a artillery in range. So, you know... After all that, I mean, I got a pretty good turn, guys. He's, like, still kind of... He's in a very good spot. Now, I say that as I have plenty of battlecopters and tanks surrounding him. So, let's see how I take care of this. I'll clean that up, take a max movement to clean that up, and then can clean two more threats to my battlecopters. I'll drive this all the way down and just hurt this. At this point, I'm just in the game of hurting his shit. Can one-shot. It was a good artillery buy after all because of that one-shot. Cripple this. I can start capping this. And then look, I mean, I have cavalry coming in here, guys. I have lots of reinforcements coming in because of my income lead. Bottom line. Push this in. And yeah, here we go. I get vision. I get lots of vision. I'm just gonna finish this off because I couldn't drive into this forest. But then look, I have a battlecopter that can drive into the forest. I'll park it, and look. I mean, look what I do, right? Like, I have enough for a Neo tank. Why would you buy a Neo tank or a medium tank into Grit? Seriously, why would you? All he's gonna do is shell you with 600 health units. You might as well have a 7,000 unit shelled than a 22,000 unit shelled by artillery. There's no point. And tanks have 6 movement. That's a lot. You go double tank, you go battlecopter. That's going to join the fight, and I'm stepping on the gas. This was the only way I was going to beat Grit. Foot on the gas pedal. Don't stop. Just pushing super duper hard. Okay. So he can get I mean look, he's still cleaning up. And he could have gotten a shot with his artillery if he had vision. Still cleans up. It ends up he ends up resigning. 12 units to 25. I have over double his unit count, and I won. So I thought that was just really, really well played. I was very, very proud of that match. So I'd like you all to go in the comments and tell me how proud you guys are of me for winning that match. I thought that I had the perfect strategy right from the beginning. Step on the gas, get in his face, do not let him set up, and slam him with max tanks and battlecopters, and it definitely worked. Now again, this was very clearly my opponent making a lot of newbie mistakes, but had he not made newbie mistakes, he would have foregone some artillery. Him foregoing artillery would mean I can shoot at his other things like anti-air he would have made to combat my battlecopters, and then my battlecopters would have been free range. So I think even if he played it very, very well, Grit on this map just doesn't work. And I think at the end of the day, I played it perfectly, and I earned that win. All right, that's it. Tell me, guys. Tell me what you think of this game. I guess I don't really have a big question for you in the comments. I don't have a question, but comment on how you think I'm doing with my infantry movement. Do you think my infantry movement is good? Do you think I'm making some bad mistakes with it? I've heard comments about capture chains. You know, just like city capture chains, and like the more and more I play, the more and more the idea of city capture chains just kind of are just kind of stupid. I think you should be pushing your infantry out as far as they can go to maximize your income first, but then as far as you can go into the map second. You know, capture chain, schmapture chain, push those infantry out into the fray. I mean, yeah, like a capture chain, like let's say you have an infantry here with a city here and here. A capture chain would be to capture here and then capture here, so you're farther out, rather than push out as far as you can right away and then circle back. That, like, is that what you mean by capture chain? Because that's obvious. But as far as our infantry movement, like, look, like these income leads are winning me games, and I'm so focused on pushing my infantry out and getting those income leads that I think they're very good. And not only did the income lead win this game for me, because income kind of racks up over a long term, but I definitely slammed him really hard, and I was pretty strategic with everything, so thought I played well. Alright guys, that's it. Thank you for joining me for another Advanced Wars Web replay commentary. At the time of this video, I'm at 191 subscribers. Last week I said I was at 100, and now I'm at 191. So if you're watching this video, and I'm you know, in that range, subscribe to me. You don't even have to put the bell on. I think you can actually block my notifications if you hate me. But subscribe to me. That would mean the world for me to be at 200 subscribers. That's a fifth of the way to 1,000. I'm a fifth of the way to 1,000 subscribers. I never thought I'd get this big doing something that I really, really like, which is Advanced Wars commentary. So let me know if you learned anything from this game. Let me know how you thought I played. Let me know what you're thinking of the Advanced Wars 1 and 2 gameplay. I'm going to be uploading more videos about that and stuff, but I thought this was a perfect game to cast. So I'm back at 900, just like that. I'm back at 900, and I know I'll climb higher this time. Okay, thanks, guys.